so we would live through it. And then when things turned and we realized that we're probably not going to live through this, that's when we begged. That's when we pleaded. And we resisted, and then Teresa fought. And it was that fight that ended up in her fatal wounds, but actually helped me get out the front door and into safety. And I will never forget that it was that fight is the reason that I'm here today. And what I find interesting when I tell this story, and I've told it many times, is that when it was just sex, we were quiet. We succumbed. We bore through it. And when I hear so many other stories of rape, sexual and domestic violence, and even sexual harassment, it seems that many others are horrified by what's happening, but they're quiet. And I can't help but wonder if that's just something that is ingrained in us as women, culturally, societally, to be quiet, or if it's something about sexual violence itself that silences us. You know, that night, I said a silent prayer to myself. I would breathe in, please God, and then I would breathe out, let us live. I didn't want our attacker to hear my prayer. I didn't want our attacker to know how much I wanted to live, and even worse, definitely didn't want our attacker to know how much I wanted Teresa to live. But when I got outside and into the dark neighborhood and the safety of that neighborhood, I screamed for help. And then in the hospital, when I learned that Teresa didn't make it, I wailed. And I told my story over and over and over again to everyone who asked me. And then when things got quiet again, I realized that in order to survive, I was going to have to keep screaming so that others could scream. And I was going to have to keep wailing so that others could wail. And I would keep telling my story so that others could tell theirs. And then, with the help of the Angel Band Project, I rediscovered the deepest parts of myself. Strength and resilience poured through me through song. And I would get to keep singing so that others can find their strength, their resilience, and their voices. You know, the Angel Band Project began because we wanted to find a way to grieve the loss of Teresa, and we wanted to help others who had endured violence. And being part of its mission and part of its creation is no doubt the most important, the most critical thing that I will ever do. And we have helped countless survivors, some of whom you will witness on the screen today. And we've also brought scores of survivors together in song. And there's a survivor that shared something with me after one of the events we had a couple of years ago, and she had said that during her pursuit of justice, she had felt silenced by the very people that were there to support her. And she had even felt rageful about that experience. But that by participating in our events, she had started to feel heard in a new way. She definitely felt believed. But most surprisingly to her, and even to me a little bit, she had started to feel joy. She had started to feel joy. So we had a memorial for Teresa a few months after her death, and it was actually going to be on our wedding day. And we wanted to make sense of her death, and we also wanted to say goodbye. And I stood in front of the room and made a promise to my community. First, I promised to live, even though that seemed really, really hard at that particular time. And then I promised to love, and that felt impossible. And then I promised to sing. And I sing because I believe that music does heal. And I believe in its power to continue to give survivors like me a voice in their recovery. I sing because it too gives me access to joy. Joy, even though I was brutally raped. Joy, even though I was terrorized. And joy, even though that night I lost the love of my life. And for that, I will be truly, truly grateful.